everyone, it is Colin, asshole, jerk, that guy you really don't like. It's been a while since I posted a video, and the last one I posted was about the Raven Wing. Now, for anyone wondering, the whole, I think, 8 subscribers I have, or how many ever I have, the narrative campaign that began kind of ended. He lost interest. I tried to reach out to him, and he just didn't respond. Just for my update portion. That being said, I want to talk about WoW today. I've had a long relationship with WoW. Before I got married, I played a little bit of WoW. I've played more off than on since vanilla. I played in some TBC. I was a part of a progression guild for a little while in Wrath. Kata. I didn't play a lot of it. I played it, but I didn't play a lot of it, like a couple months. Same thing with MOP. I just didn't have the interest in it back then. That being said, I started playing in Warlords like 3 months ago, 3-4 months ago, right around Christmas. I paid for that first month, to be honest, and I've always made enough money to pay for the tokens, so someone else is actually giving them $20 and I'm paying 0. That being said, I want to say that while it's been detrimental to people's relationships, it's been awesome for some people, but really, it is one of the longest running games in a very, very long campaign. There are a couple things that happened recently, like in the last week or two. StopthePrune is a little bit older, but from what I've noticed, it has almost entirely been PvPers. And I think it's more due to because they like I think I heard someone refer to it as nuance, but it's basically I've got 15 stuns and 15 stun breaks. It's all a matter of how many times you can stun break and force someone to trinket out of something. PvP has never been my thing. I mention that because I'm not seeing PvEers, raiders, or even casuals complaining about pruning. It's only the PvPers, and it's only the people who like the 15, 20, 45-minute long matches, and I've seen one, for the arenas. That stuff is boring. I'm sorry, it is. Bajira may be a great PvPer. It is boring to watch that shit go on for 30 minutes, 15 minutes. Hell, 5 minutes is too long. I tried watching some Blade and Soul. The PvP is just boring to me, and I can't watch it. Can't play it. I don't bother. And that's something I think is the biggest thing. Is that it's all PvPers about StopthePrune. Now, that being said, it's not my thing. I'm not going to jump in wholeheartedly and go rah, rah, rah. The other thing was Nostralius shutting down. Or Nostralius, Nost, whatever, who cares? For me, it's not that big of a deal. WoW's over, 11, 12 years old? I love Final Fantasy 1. But, let's be honest here, I'm not going to spend another 40 hours just playing the game, just to play the game. Vanilla WoW had a lot of grinding to it. That's not what made the game fun. Or at least not for me. TBC had a lot of grinding to it. Attunements. That's not what made it fun for me. Sorry. For all you people out there who love that long, ridiculous grind, congratulations. Have your fun at it. It's just not for me. What Blizzard did, and it may have been at the direction of Activision, it may not have been, who cares? They shut down Astralis and said, no more. They have the right to. It sucks. It's dick. But they do have the right to. That being said, it's still an 11-year-old game. 11 years. Now, if that's something you're into, like I said, congratulations. Keep doing what you do. There's plenty of private servers out there. Just most of them aren't going to be that large. But that being said, they did have the right to do it. They have the right to go to the top 100 private WoW servers and shut down every single one with a cease and desist. Now, whether or not that's going to happen is probably not going to happen. So, why make the video? Why add on to all this other stuff that's already there? Because it needs to be said. I've heard a lot of other things said about this, but I haven't heard this particular point of view. Maybe I'm not watching the right people. Maybe I'm not watching the right YouTube videos. But that's true. It really is. The Nostralia shutting down isn't as big of a deal as people want it to be. They want it to be this huge calamity for the player base. And it doesn't seem like there's going to be a lot of overlap there. And that may just be my personal experience, but I have a problem playing games like that long ago. Now, am I defending Blizzard? No. Shitty move. Shitty move, guys. But I have a resolution for you. The resolution's rather simple. Hire them. Hire every last one of those community managers who made that server work. Then you can have your own legacy servers. Anyway, let's flip this around real quick. And yeah, off angle, I'm sorry about that. How do you resolve the actual issue that the players were having? The actual issue is not, I want an old MMO. The issue is, and it's very simple, I want to feel like I've made an accomplishment at the end of the day. I want to feel like what I've done has got merit. I want to feel like the 80 hours I put into this game feels like I've actually enjoyed it. Legacy servers will not solve that problem. It's me going back and playing Final Fantasy 1. Why? Because I can. It's me going back and playing Final Fantasy 7 for the 100th time. Getting bored halfway through Disc 2. Popping it out and going, yeah. I think they said they had over 1 million registered players. But only like 100,000 active. Yeah, so it's 10%, but still. But there's a resolution to this. And maybe Blizzard's already working on it. It's an idea that I've seen tossed around on a couple of the forums. It is hardcore servers, or what the few people I've been talking to, I've been calling them mythic servers. Now, let's go ahead and describe how these mythic servers are going to work. First off, you have no collection tab. None. Mounts, heirlooms, pet battles, will be there, but wouldn't be considered a collection part of the tab. And your toys like your mounts, will take up an item spot. You have mounts you have the ranged invincible? Great! You have 50 other mounts. Find space for them. Yeah. Inventory management becomes a thing again. Now, the way that this works is 0.75 experience growth. You have no heirlooms. Not one. People were willing to pay for Nostralius. So you know what you do? No tokens for this server. Can't buy tokens. You have to pay cash. That's $15 a month every month coming in. And guess what? I'm telling you, people will want to do it. But let's take something else. Let's throw in some more on top of this. Let's say you're going to Wailing Caverns. I remember Wailing Caverns from Vanilla. I do. It was a horrible, horrible place. It took an hour and a half to get done. An hour if you had a fast group. You used to have to stop for mana constantly. Sorry. And I wasn't aware that you're supposed to use lower ranked spells because they conserve mana, so I was always stopping on my hunter. That being said, from the entrance of Wailing Caverns to the outside of the cave, now there are all regular monsters. All of them. There used to be elites. If you don't know what I'm getting at, you should. All those monsters are elite again. Let's say you're going to the Blackwing Lairite, I think it is. The one inside inside Blackrock, whatever. Yeah, I know, I'm forgetting names right now and it's horrible. Every one of those mobs inside there, elites again. You're actually going towards, crap, I can't remember the name. That 2-hour-long dungeon. Yeah, and I know some people are going to correct me if anyone actually sees this video. I know people are going to correct me on what it's called, and they might throw a fit about it, but yeah. That is going to be filled with elites again. No. You have to collect keys. So, you want to open up some of those doors? You gotta go get your key first. Which may mean beating the dungeon once, getting something from the final boss, having to rerun the dungeon halfway through for a special stone statue halfway through the dungeon so you can get a key. And that key will give you access to extra bosses and a quicker way through the dungeon. Yeah, that's where we're beginning. Loot drops are reduced. You don't always get an epic drop. You don't always get a rare drop. You get back to the point where I remember you're lucky if you got a green drop. Oh my god, plus 10 to agility. That's exactly what I needed. LF Valor and LFG. LFG stays. But LFG acts more as a group collector. So it puts together your group. Hunter, melee, mage, healer, tank. So forth and so on. But you still have to make your way there. You have to find the dungeon. Warlocks can summon you. Summon stones still work. But you have to make your way there. And that is where the fun would be again. Because you can no longer just wait inside your garrison until the queue pop, hit OK, or accept, jump into the dungeon, finish it up in 5 minutes. I did heroic blood slag earlier today, and I popped ring on every boss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a 10-minute dungeon. Yeah, that's... Granted, I'm going to give this. I'm geared for heroic raids, for in-game heroic raids. HFC, I'm 11 out of 13 heroic. Yeah, I need to be 11 out of 13 mythic, but whatever. Yeah. That's nothing to me. I'm trouncing. 75k was my average. Make those dungeons hard. I cannot simply stand in the fire on the final boss, the guy who summons the little fire elementals, and they run to the thing. Yeah. That just doesn't do enough damage to kind of wear down that guy gearing up. It's enough to take a raider's armor and just deplete it. My health starts dropping down 10% at a time if I'm standing in fire. Blizzard, if you ever see this video, ever, know this, it's not, and Ian said it wrong, but he said it in the wrong way, or Ion, or however you pronounce his name. It's not what they want, but you need to tell them that I understand what you really want. You want accomplishment again. That's the reason these private servers are able to maintain a population. We're working on that in Legion. We're going to make you feel like you have accomplished something. Yeah. Now, for me, it's hard to control my passion. And this, I'm recording on my cell phone because my other camera, I don't have a cord to plug it in, or it'd be a better quality, and probably not at this awkward angle, like facing up and at the ceiling. Which, by the way, if you can't tell, I moved rooms. If Blizzard is smart, they'll find a better way to handle their PR about this stuff. But I'd really like to see them handle it well. I think they can. I really think they will. But they need to understand why these private servers were so popular. It's not just because it's a 12-year-old MMO. It's not because the players are wanking off to, oh my god, this was just like when I played vanilla 12 years ago. Woohoo! Someone made a chart out of all the expanded content in the expansions. 14 months with Hellfire. 14. That's a problem, Blizzard. That is a big friggin' problem. Yeah, let that sink in. And if you do see it, and I hope one of your community leaders see this, and they go, I think this guy has a point. You know what? Give us mini raids. You know what? 6.3 with like a post raid that's like building up for Legion. It could be a single room raid like Trial of the Grand Crusader. So you don't even have to build a new one. You have to build a single room environment. That way we don't have to immediately switch out our gear. And watching some of the streams, I know since I'm 722, 724, 722 equipped, I don't have to worry about changing out my gear right away. I know my Warhorn, my heirloom friggin' trinket is going to just like carry along with me. I know my heroic empty drinking horn is going to carry along well with me. Oh, especially if it stacks with Remorseless Winter. Oh. But let's address this as the root problem, not what people are perceiving. The root problem is accomplishment. I lost track of that before I went off. Oh. You really must acknowledge that the best way to resolve this is more content. It doesn't even have to be a lot of content. Single room raids, 4 bosses, make it challenging. Bam, you're done. So, I'm going to use a great example that you could have used as another raid. When you enter Warlords of Draenor, when you're doing the quest and you're You're getting to your garrison for the first time. You've hit 90. You're working your way through. You stop off at that arena. He says, kill 100 people, and maybe I'll let you through. There's a raid there. A mini raid. Doesn't have to be a big one. A single room can still do a lot if you have good content. So yeah, think about that. I'm throwing out ideas here, man. Blizzard, I want you to do well. I want to come back in like 2 years and see some of these guys who are complaining just like choke on their words. And yes, that means some of you guys who are doing StopthePrune and, oh my god, garrison missions are back. Ooh, I'm going to hate this game. Yeah. I want to see them actually choke. Go, oh my god, this was so much better than I thought it would be. Because it is. And Legion has that potential, and I want to see it happen. Legion actually has the ability to completely change the way that we view the game. And yes, the weapons are going... It got some people upset, but that's not even really the problem that they're having. But I'm going to cut this short. I'm at, woohoo, nearly 22 minutes. And I'm not going to edit it. Why not? Keep all those long, awkward silences. That way if someone's watching it and maybe they can feel a portion of the passion that I have for this game. I've seen this game ruin marriages. Guy literally being told by his wife, sleep with me. All you have to do is lay down. Nah, I'm good. I got things to do today on the game. Just on a side note, that guy was a jackass anyways, and he didn't deserve her, but, you know, that's beside the point. So, cool. Thumbs at me. Signing off, whatever, blah, 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 call me an asshole, blah, blah.